Fair enough. I mean, I think that's a reasonable worry. That's why I got my spring bar handy and I got my massive biceps. Can you show someone?
Thanks to the spring bar.
And the lightning. That's the name of my fists.
Yeah, motherfucker. We're gonna take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up. Wanna give a motherfucker sucker, put your hand up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 108 of the ScruffCast. I'm Dan.
I'm John.
And I'm back from my 1 week hiatus. What a glorious week it was to not have to do this.
You feel a weight lifted off your shoulders? You didn't have millions of people?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure doing this thing. I don't think people realize that, you know?
We make it look easy, but
We do.
it's not.
It's really hard to appease, 6 people. Very difficult. See, when you have a more broad audience, all the noise just blends in. But like when there's like 6 people telling you what they want, it's tough, man.
When you can potentially fit your entire audience into a Volvo station wagon, you can personally look in the rearview mirror and see almost all of them and their reactions.
Yeah. Yeah, spot on, yeah. So Taryn was the guest last week. Hopefully everyone enjoyed her.
She stepped in. I thought she did pretty good. I would say I liked it better than her first appearance on the show.
Fair enough. I don't even remember that one, actually.
Episode 92.
Like I remember I remember it, but like I don't remember what you guys talked about on it, obviously. It's a long time ago.
Tap dancing, I think.
But speaking of last week's episode, I did listen like a good host I am. I listened, finished it up today, and have a few notes. Just a few. Normally I come in with 50,000 notes, but this time I just have a few here. So first off, response to Kalon's email from last week when you forget how to do something.
Yes.
So, his was like a little more, made a little more sense, like forgetting how to use your driver, right? And like you said, nobody knows how to use it. One time I was at the mall with my sister. We were at Brainley City Center, I still remember. And we were on the second floor, so we're going down the first floor, so we're about to get on the escalator. And I forgot how to get on the escalator. I stood at the top and was like, whoa. I didn't know what to do. It was just like I had this massive brain fart, and I was like, what the hell? It's just I'd forgotten how to get on an escalator. So I just hopped on, and then I was okay. But I was like, oh, what the hell was that about? I totally forgot to do that.
You just step.
I know, but it just became lost on me. I don't know what happened. Forgot how to get on an escalator. It was weird. All right, the next thing, the bagel story with the cream cheese, where I threw it out the window.
Yes.
True story, but it was not a multi-grain bagel. It was an everything bagel.
Oh.
Dude, this is the fact checking's fun. Actually, I enjoy it. It's gonna be fun for Chris when he gets to be the fact checker. This is a good time.
Now you know why they like to write in with corrections.
I know, eh? And the last one, the principal on Saved by the Bell, his name was not Mr. Belvedere. His name was Mr. Belding.
Did I say Mr. Belvedere?
Taryn started it, and you continued with it. You both called him Mr. Belvedere.
Dude, who's Mr. Belvedere?
It was a TV show in the 80s.
Really?
He was he was like a butler or something like that. I don't know.
I have no recollection. It must have just manifested itself into my brain, took up the space for something useful, like walking on an escalator. That's how you forget those type of things. The moment you forgot how to step onto an escalator, something else is wedged in there taking up that space.
It's something useless, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot how to get on an escalator. Oh, Jesus, how do I do this? Yeah, that was weird. I thought I was having a stroke for a little bit there.
Was that the entirety of your notes?
That was it, man. 3 little notes.
Not bad, I would say. Taryn, if you're listening, which you don't, sounds like we did an all right job.
I know. I'm assuming she listened back to her own episode.
Oh, of course. You know what? It's so funny because she mentioned last week about, you always have to play the episode when we're in the car, which is not true.
She called you out on that. I heard that. I was like, oh.
I have on occasion, because otherwise she won't listen. And the thing is, you know what? She's a bit of a curmudgeon. She pretends she won't listen. But when I play the episode while we're driving somewhere, she'll smirk. I'm like, see, that got the chuckle. I'm funny and you know it. But anyway, Wednesday morning, okay, sure enough, I don't know, she was in the bedroom, folding laundry or waiting for her phone to charge, something like that. I can't remember. And I go in there, and she's just sitting there listening to the episode play back.
Of course.
Oh, actually, before that, so I had some internet issues last week, and I wasn't able to upload the episode to YouTube on time. So it went later in the day. I got a message from her. I'm here in the studio / home office. She was in another part of the house. And she messages me and says, it's not on YouTube.
Oh, my gosh. Why did she just start her own podcast, you know?
Well, she has a friend that...
Like, she'd have to get all of her own gear. I mean, this is the ScruffCast studio, obviously, but...
Yeah, I told her, like, I could rent... Dude, here's what we do. We started our own podcast
Yeah, we can rent
network.
the space.
If anybody in the greater Toronto area, the GTA, is interested in running their own podcast, doesn't have the equipment, we start a podcast studio. This is how we do it. Or no, not podcast studio, sorry. A podcast network. We grow the brand, right? Something like Barstool Sports.
Okay.
Grow big. I don't know.
It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. There may be something more to that.
There may be. We'll look into
call
it.
Like, I don't know, the ScruffCast Network. TSN.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, of course not.
I had another point about, so she has a friend that wanted to start a podcast with her about Broadway or some theater related stuff, right, which is an interest both of them shared.
Just side note here, doesn't my neck look like it's really long? I mean, no one else can see this, obviously, but...
I see you working on your posture over there.
It just looks outrageously long. All right, okay, anyway.
Anyways, but Taryn didn't want to do it.
Oh,
so
why?
Like, no. So anytime she bugs me or something, I say, listen, I'm going to tell your friend that you're thrilled to start a podcast with her. She goes, no, don't.
How come she didn't want to do the podcast with her?
I don't know. Her friend's a bit of a loose cannon, shall we say.
Oh, okay.
She's I don't know how else to describe it. But
was she just like a wild racist? Like, how is she a loose cannon? Like,
dude, I was looking back.
Is she just gonna come out there like, I hate Chinese people?
Dude, I was looking back through old episodes of the ScruffCast earlier today, and we have an episode titled "Jon and Dan are not racist" with the "not" in capitals, and I'm like, oh boy, I forgot about this one. But
I guess we felt the need. We had to say that.
We had to have some clarification because I think it was a follow up from the previous week. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. She doesn't want to for some reason. So
all right, well, is what it is.
Funny enough, she was all eager to listen back to her own episode.
You know what's funny is like Anna, before we lived together, back when we were just dating, she used to like, I guess when we kind of first started this, she used to listen like on her days off, right? She's like, oh yeah, I listen. I just like, sit in the backyard, have my coffee, and I listen to the podcast. I'm like, oh really? She's like, yeah, it's like nice to hear your voice. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. But like now that we live together, I guess she hears my voice a little too much, obviously. And she doesn't listen. That's it.
Yeah.
I guess she's just sick of hearing me as it is.
But she
goes to bed so early.
She did write in around Christmas time and suggested our top 5 Christmas feels. And she's like, I'm going to start listening again. And that was it. That was the end. She never listened again.
Literally never
one episode. And it wasn't us that pulled her in. It was probably the magic of Christmas, of course.
I know. All right. Well, whatever. All right. We got an email. Let's read away.
We do have people who not only listen each week, they actually contribute and email us.
That's right.
So we got one email this week. Subject line is Living in the Dark Ages. What's up, guys? So I was doing some renovations at my house, and I was finishing up painting the kitchen and changing the power outlets, and I fucked it up. And now I have no power to my house.
Uh-oh.
Long story short, I missed a step and shorted out the breaker box, and now me and Tiff, this was written in by our friend Chris, me and Tiff are living life by candlelight, waiting for our phones to run out of battery and for the world to disappear, essentially. What's the most seemingly normal task that you guys have tried to do, which left you feeling like a moron and failed more spectacularly than you could have thought possible? If you never hear from me again, know that my last hours were full of board games, conversations instead of TV, and too many snacks. Chris. Sent from my iPhone while it lasts. Well, I certainly hope you get your power back in time to hear this episode.
Obviously, yeah. You know what's nice, though? He used up some of his last bit of, phone battery writing this email to us.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart.
He could have sent out messages to friends and family. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. He wanted to put out the call for help, and he knew we had the widest audience.
Oh, true. Yeah. So, technically he wants help, but we're, a little busy right now.
Well, sorry to hear that, Chris. Hopefully you can get your power restored soon.
Oh, you know what? He messaged me earlier. His fiance, Tiff, apparently turned one of her coworkers onto the ScruffCast.
Damn, dude, I love to hear
know.
nothing more than somebody telling somebody else about the
He's
magic of the ScruffCast.
Spreading the good word. That's what she's doing right now. Tiff, a shout out to you.
Yes.
And hopefully this person's listening. Yeah, this person might have just been like, like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to listen to that. And then obviously not going to listen. Which,
Yeah.
like, that's something I would do in fairness. Like,
That's true.
hey, my fiance's friends have a podcast.
Yeah, it's a little far-fetched.
Jesus Christ, I would never listen to that, right? But
it's like, what do they talk
if
about?
you're listening, coworker, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we're a hard sell. It's like, what do they talk about? I don't know.
Nothing really.
Whatever.
They just read emails their friends send in.
Pretty much. Well, anyways, you get a yes, queen, for spreading the good word. Thanks,
Definitely.
Tiff.
All right, so what's the most seemingly normal task you tried to do, which left you feeling like a moron and failed more spectacularly than you could have thought possible? Do you have anything in mind, John?
So, a seemingly normal task that comes to my mind, I don't, fail spectacularly, but somehow I always manage to mess it up. It's like hanging stuff on the wall. For some reason, I, pull out the measuring tape. I want it to be, because I'm pretty particular, right? For instance, I hung up posters above my desk. I was like, okay, I want it to be exactly, there's two posters side by side, centered above the desk with an equal space on each side and a particular height from the ceiling. Measure it out, get the pencil, put the dots and everything. And then I hang it up and I'm like, what the fuck happens? It looks nothing like what I was picturing. It's like way off on one direction. So then I just slide the desk. That's the first thing that comes to my mind for regular tasks that I suck at.
I'm trying to think regular tasks. See, first off, the thing is he's like talking about like regular tasks or whatever, right? But like he was literally trying to change the outlets in his house. Like I wouldn't consider that a regular task, Yeah, I feel like that's an above and beyond task that you messed up on. Like, I would have messed up on that too.
Yeah, it was a little humble flex.
It was, yeah. Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. That's what it was. The only thing I think of is like I think I've mentioned on here before is like I'm so bad at using like saran wrap.
Yes.
Like so unbelievably bad at it. That's number one. But like I've done stuff before, like just like stupid things that like you're not paying attention to. That's like I feel like where it happens the most, right? It's like little easy things you're not paying attention to, but you're not paying attention for so long that by the end of it you're like, oh Jesus Christ! Like what? I can't believe I just did that. And like one of them's like if I get new like laces for my hockey skates, let's say, right? So I'll pull the old ones out and maybe I'm talking to somebody and then I put the old ones back in. And I'm like done. I'm like, oh my God. Like I just rewrapped the skate with the same goddamn lace.
Because I just know somewhere in my brain there's examples of this. Of the type of thing, it's like exactly like you said, where you go, man, what was I thinking? Where you just make like a classic blunder.
Yeah. Like in fairness, I'm sure this happens to me daily, right? So that's probably why I can't think of anything great. But
yeah, the tasks that succeed are the rare ones, right? So the everyday ones are the blunders. It's a good question. Yeah. I'm trying to think. One time after I was making lunch, doing a little bit of meal prep for the work week. This was I don't know, sometime last year, I think. The surface of my stove was still hot, but this little sign, because the flat top stove, that says caution, hot surface is always on, no matter what.
Right.
So it essentially serves no purpose, because I've just always liked the surface is never hot. And I put down a piece of Tupperware. I wasn't thinking about it. And then I went to go pick it up, and just the bottom of the Tupperware was stuck on the thing. I was like, that's a jabron move.
Actually, funny enough, the other day, this maybe a week ago, Anna left the stove on.
Really?
Yeah. And so, like, because again, we have those little lights, right? And so I thought it was just like the stove is hot. I thought it was that one, right? Because like I think she had like heated up the kettle for a tea, for a hot bag or something like that. So I look and the thing was on. So then I think it was on all overnight. So the next morning I looked, I was like, Jesus Christ, this thing's still on, right? But like instead of how you flip the thing all the way up for it to go off,
yeah,
it's like she flipped it all the way down, like the opposite way. So it was actually like the thing was not hot at all, but like the little light was still registering that it was on, right? So it was set to like 0 or something. I don't know. But
reminds me of one time. Well, actually, this happened more than once, because even though we have a 4-slot toaster, And when we got the toaster,
the kings of toasters,
I was like, all right, Taryn, this is your side of the toaster. You have your settings. This is my side of the toaster. But then yet I just always like to use that specific side, like the same side that she likes to use. I'm like, why do you want to use the other side? For whatever reason. And she likes her toast a lot more well done than I do. So it's always like cranked up.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'll always burn my toast. But at one time I was like, I'm not going to burn my toast. I'm going to adjust it, right? Set it to 2. But I was looking on the wrong end of the dial. So really, it's like, it's pointing to what would be 10 o'clock on a clock. But I was really turning it to like 5 o'clock on a clock or 4 o'clock, if that makes sense. Because I was looking at the wrong end of the dial.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So I'm cranking it up when really I'm looking at the bottom end, going like, oh yeah, put that at 2. Then I burnt my toast. And that goddamn smoke alarm in here is so sensitive. It never goes off.
Oh, really?
Or sorry, it always goes off whenever I'm cooking. Or not just cooking, but like make toast, goes off. And then one time, had leftover pizza in the pizza box. And I thought, fuck it. I'll just put the whole pizza box in the oven, let it warm up a little. It didn't have the oven too hot. Maybe had it in there a bit too long. It's like, ooh, it's getting a little smoky in here. Go up and take out the pizza box. Smoke alarm doesn't go off that time. It's like, what the hell? What's the point?
One time it should have. Man, our goddamn alarms went off the other, it's maybe 2 weeks ago now. The fire alarm went off in our bedroom and in like the hallway outside of our bedroom. And like there's like a strobe light on it and stuff like that. And it went off at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Scared the shit out of me. And like that's one thing that really I don't know why, like loud, sudden, like kind of like alarm sounds. It like scares the crap out of me. Even if I'm awake, like I don't know why. It's just one of those things that gets me. You'd think I like served in Iraq or something like that. But
it's those years that our school used to send us out into the thunderstorms when the fire alarm went off.
Oh, I know, Yeah, so these things go out at 6 o'clock in the morning. I nearly shit myself. I couldn't believe it. It was terrifying. And it just went off like twice, like, and then that was it. I was like, what in God's name was that? So I fell back asleep.
At least it went off on its own. This one always goes off, and then I got to get up and hit the little button. Reset. Sucks.
Yeah, apparently this one like yells at you if there's like actually like a fire or if there's carbon monoxide. The carbon monoxide, get out of the house. I don't know if it says that. It's like something like that, right?
Well, I guess that's better.
There's a fire.
That's pretty good, actually, because if it just beeps, you'll be like, Like, for instance, it went off in the morning, like you said. You just be like, But if you're laying in bed and it's like, get out of the house, carbon monoxide, you'd be like, oh, shit, we got to get out of the house.
Yeah, seriously. Out of there so fast.
Sounds pretty handy. How much do you think that guy got paid to do that voice?
I don't know. A good chunk, because he's like on all the alarms,
Yeah, it's like his likeness.
Yeah. Have you ever... Oh, what the hell was I going to say now? Oh, okay. Have you ever thought of like... okay, so you live in a basement apartment.
Yes.
And as do I. Have you ever thought of like your escape plan if there was a fire? Have you ever thought of this? Like...
Kind of. So,
like for every situation, like, okay, you're in your bedroom. It's 3. Okay. I'm not going to say 3 o'clock in the morning because you're probably still awake. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay. You're sound asleep. Boom. Fire. What do you do?
So my first hope is always the fire is somewhere else so I can just run out the front door.
Of course.
Because other than that, I'm not going to have too easy of a time because thankfully the windows here are pretty large. But like if I'm in the office / studio here, I got to slide the desk over there. Crawl out.
Yeah, this is like all the stuff I've thought about too.
From in the living room,
what furniture I can move in this room that can get me up to that window. You know what I mean?
From in the living room, I can sort of crawl up the couch, but like it's gonna be tough. I think there's a spider by the window too, so it'd be like the window. I'm not going to go for the first.
Oh, let me try another window. There's a spider there.
Yeah, if I'm in the kitchen, it's a little easier because I can crawl up on the counter and go. If I'm in the washroom, man, I feel like the countertop up to there is like too high. I'm never going to squeak my fat ass up there. I'll just run the shower. There you go. The water will just put the fire out.
What if it's a gas fire?
Dude, those things aren't they just a myth?
Gas fires?
No. I don't know.
No, if someone lights gasoline on fire, you can't pour water on it.
Why not?
To put it out. Dude, it's like basic science. Even I know that.
Well, I have a fire extinguisher.
You got to pour like sand on it.
Okay, I'll just keep a bag of sand in the bathroom.
Because the gas sits on top of the water and it actually travels.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
God damn. Well, if water's so great, why isn't there no water too that should be able to handle that scenario,
Yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because, like, well, obviously I've thought about it here, right? Especially with Leo, right? And his bedroom's like a little further from ours, like you know where it is. And so I was thought, like, what's my plan of attack, you know? Because like Anna, like, I mean, you know, if she's got to be left behind, she's got to be left behind. It is what it is, right? I'll do my best, but I'll grab Leo first. I'll go back for her.
Just like if it was reversed.
If I get time.
Dude, you're still sleeping and she's outside with Leo sending you a text. Dad, there's a fire.
You know, and first, that's exactly what would goddamn happen too, because like she's a pretty light sleeper and I'm not. So she'd be out of the house. I'd be burnt alive already. My feet would be on fire before I woke up. Ah!
Well, no, dude, you have that outside hairy layer, so that would just crisp up first, giving you a little bit of time.
Give me a nice shave down. Oh, you know, that's fine. That's actually something I've never thought of. You know what I mean? Instead of like, you know, trimming the old back hair, you just get a can of Axe and a lighter, and get Anna to stand a little further away and just singe it all off.
I remember one time when me and my sister were kids, my dad was playing with his lighter and my sister was on the couch and it lit her sock on fire and it just took the outside layer of the sock, like, and that was it. Just like the little outside layer of fluff.
Yeah, yeah.
And my sister started crying because it freaked her out because I don't know,
right.
She was like 4 or 5 or something. But that was it.
So
that's what I imagine like happening to you.
Super flammable. I remember we were in high school and like the vests we used to have to wear for the uniforms. I remember this guy we knew, Jeff.
Yes.
He lit this other girl's vest on fire. And like literally it was like engulfed her vest. We were like, oh my God. Like he just like took a lighter to it, like just jokingly.
Was it like then he had like a fire extinguisher and he's like, oh, let me put out your flame. Like it was all like a big plan? Or was he just
he smacked her. He like just poof smacked her.
What, on the back?
It was like on her shoulder. Yeah. And like the worst part is like she was black. So it was a kind of a hate crime, to be honest with you. That's the way I looked at it personally. Yeah. That's the way I looked at it, right? Because that's the way I see the world.
He lit her on fire and he beat her.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Tell
me about it. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, but I remember like going back to the fire or whatever, right? I remember when I was still living with my parents when we first moved to Etobicoke, there was like they put in all new windows in the house, right? So my bedroom was in the basement. And so the window was actually like, it was like this kind of like safety window. So if there was a fire or whatever, you can kind of like grab 2 latches of it and pull the window right off from the inside.
That's a handy
invention. What I mean? Yeah, exactly. Because like the windows weren't like, you know how like in proper basement apartments, the windows are like massive.
Yeah.
Because like it's a legal thing, right? Well, like in normal houses, you don't need that, right? But I just happen to have a bedroom in the basement. So I remember my dad just like handed me like a baseball bat. He's like, oh, if there's a fire in the house, like, don't even try to like pull the window out. Just smash the window. Just go through. Who cares? Like, at that point, like, what you can do? Fiddle with the window? I was like, well, yeah, I guess so. That makes sense. Like, just smash the damn thing. Who cares?
You're gonna smash it. Are you gonna get the entire pane out in one smash? No, and then you got to worry about the glass.
Oh, dude, I couldn't care less. I have that same baseball bat in my closet right now, man. If there's a fire, poof, I'd be smashing through our window as it is.
I have a like spring bar like workout thing. Like this old ass giant steel bar with 2 handles on the end, a big spring in the middle that my uncle gave me. That's sort of my baseball bat / beat somebody with if they come in.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. You know what I hate? I hate watching goddamn movies where there's like a break and enter. I hate it, man. I can't stand it. Like the other day, it was Anna's birthday. It was on the Monday when I didn't do the podcast, right? So we watched Crazy Rich Asians, which it's a good movie. It's a pretty good movie. Worth watching for anyone who hasn't seen it. And then so we finished that. She's like, oh, let's put this on. It was Law Abiding Citizen. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No,
it's like Jamie Foxx and Gerard Butler.
Okay.
So the movie essentially like the movie starts where like Gerard Butler's in the house with his like wife and his daughter. I've seen this movie before. And someone comes in and kills his wife and his daughter. And then like the trial comes and like, okay, that's besides the point. Like that doesn't matter. But the point is I hate seeing that. So I knew that was coming. So I made Anna just fast forward through it. I was like, I don't want to see this. Like, I don't want to see this guy's wife and daughter get killed. This poor guy, right? Like, just turn this off. I don't want to watch this part. I'll watch the rest of the movie, but I don't want to see that.
Is it because it like freaks you out? Did it always freak you out? Or is it now that you have like a wife and kid of your own?
I think it's always kind of bothered me a bit, but it's like even worse now. For sure. Much, much worse.
Fair enough. I mean, I think that's a reasonable worry. That's why I got my spring bar handy and I got my massive biceps. Gonna show someone the
Thanks to
thunder
the spring bar,
and the
obviously.
lightning. That's the name of my fists.
I like it. I like it. All right. I'd like to play a little game, John.
All right.
Oh, no. Before we even get into that, Jesus Christ, I forgot I had this. Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you a little story, okay? It's an article I read.
Ooh, bring it back an article. These
I
are
know.
rare.
So I can do this on the fly. I'm not going to read the article. I'm just gonna tell you what happened in the article, essentially, okay? So this article is about a Mountie who groped and like felt up the genitals of another Mountie, okay? So essentially what happened was the Mountie here, hold on, I'll try to get some actual, what does it say here? The Mountie fondled the genitals of one of his constables, groped her thigh, and made inappropriate sexual comments to him. So that they made inappropriate sexual comments to her, okay? So this was the punishment. They lost 20 days pay and 10 vacation days. Does the punishment fit the crime, John?
So this is the first time I've ever heard of somebody losing vacation days as like a crime.
I know, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
Well,
so the Mountie fondled the genitals of the other constable, groped her thigh, and made inappropriate sexual comments to him, okay? Think about the landscape we live in right now.
Thinking of the landscape, I think this guy got off pretty light then.
RCMP officer. Yeah, I think because would you say, that the sentence is quite light?
Yes, because if he's doing this to like another officer, then I imagine just somebody randomly pulls over.
Exactly.
Like on an all right. That's his like horse coming up the side of the road and pulling somebody.
I got a little twist for you here, okay?
Okay.
What if I told you it was actually a female constable who did this to a male constable?
Then I think they got off light for sure.
Yeah, because that's actually what goddamn happened.
See, I thought you were going to twist it with like some sort of outrage or something. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, I think they got off light for sure just because it flipped, because I thought they got off light beforehand. But I feel like there'd be an outcry about this.
The point is, if it was a man that did it to a woman, he'd lose his job. You know what I mean? The whole 9 yards, which, don't get me wrong, is probably fair. Like, I believe that's fair.
Oh, yeah, totally. Especially it's like somebody in that sort of job. I don't really think there's any job
got to be equal, right?
Where you do something like that and you don't lose it.
No, 100%, yeah. But essentially, what they said was here. I'll try to find exactly what they said. They pretty much just said like, oh, in this, it doesn't call for a firing. It pretty much, this person can be like rehabilitated by going to therapy and by completing a university degree. That was the two things. I know. I was like, what? Like, what does that even mean, right?
This doesn't call for a firing?
Yeah, it's like it's not enough for that person to be fired, right? I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. If this was a man that did this to a woman, all hell would break loose, as it should. Don't get me wrong.
We're living in heightened times for, sexual harassment and abuse and stuff like that. But
it's got to go both ways.
And especially in like law enforcement and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
It's got to go both ways though. But what I was thinking, because they said like, oh, this person should be rehabilitated instead of like, just kicked to the curb or whatever, right? I kind of I believe that too, though, at the same time. You know what I mean? I think the punishment should have been a little more than what it was. But at the same time, I think the whole world should be, instead of just like, canceling people, we should start thinking about like forgiving people and trying to make them better people instead of just canceling them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
Better way to go about it.
We've talked about it before a couple of different times on different podcasts. And it's like, what's the end result? You cancel people. Like, let's say someone does something bad, right? Whether it's as bad as, their punishment, like whether the crime fits the punishment or not, right? Because sometimes people do things that are bad, but they're not illegal and people want to cancel them, yada, yada. What's the end result? You want them to get canceled and lose their job. And then then they can't work anywhere. And then they're just like homeless and die? Well, no, that seems a little extreme. Even people that I don't like, I don't want them to die, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But like, there's no in between, No.
You know what I
mean?
No.
In a job like an RCMP officer, I guess any sort of law enforcement officer, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to have that sort of in between, because it's like, well, if you do this to another officer, then imagine what you do when you pull somebody over. or interact with the public or whatever. So I don't know. I do agree though that we shouldn't always just rush to boom, the most extreme measure. Because like the whole idea of prisons are supposed to be more about rehabilitation than punishment. Because then what happens is people get out and then they just go back to jail. So it doesn't make any sense.
No, you want them to be better people when they come out, right? But this whole cancel culture thing should be the same, should it not? Instead of just being like, you're canceled, see ya, bye-bye. It should just be like, okay, how do we make this person a better person? Like they're a shitty person as it is. How do we make them better,
Dude, I don't think cancel culture works that way. Because even if you're a good person now, right? If they dig up something from 10 years ago, it's like, oh, you're canceled because of this 10 years ago. It's like, no, but I'm good. Oh, well, I'm better now. I've learned.
I've changed, Chet. Nope, doesn't matter. 10 years ago, you sucked. So
when everyone's a kid, right, or young, they say stupid things and do stupid things, right? Grew up in, different times. Not that different, but you know what I mean? And then you grow up, right? And you learn better and
for sure,
a better person. So yeah,
I have a story about this actually, but it's not for the podcast. So remind me to tell you after this is done.
I will. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty bizarre. And I've never heard of somebody losing vacation days. So
as like a punishment.
Yeah, it's like she's got to go and text her friends, and it's like, oh, like assuming
go to the Bahamas
in a non-corona world, like, I can't make the Bahamas trip. Oh no, Cindy, what happened? I squeaked Sergeant Johnson's junk on the job, and I lost my vacation days.
I love how you named him Sergeant Johnston too.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of bizarre. I lost 20 days paid.
Yeah, I mean financially it sucks for her, but but thank God she's getting that university degree. That'll really help her.
Yeah, that whole aspect is bizarre.
It'll probably make her a shittier person, to be honest with you,
because she gets away.
She'll probably become like more prudy too, right? She's like, and now I'm more educated.
I could now I won't even squeeze those dicks. They're not up to my standards. The last dick I squeezed got me a university diploma. This one won't get me any. That's bizarre. And it's rare you sort of hear that inverse story.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I'm not saying that it's rare that it happens. It's rare that you hear about it.
That's for sure. We're victims sometimes too,
Dude, is it easier?
Not as often.
Is it easier to reach out and grab a woman there, or is it easier to reach out and grab a man? Dude, the men, it's just dangling there.
Yeah,
dude, just low-hanging fruit.
Exactly. All right, let's get to the game because you guys played a game last week, and I want to play too.
Yes, I had thought, maybe Dan will be jealous. So, listeners,
a little.
I don't know if you didn't listen to last week, maybe Tiff's new friend, write in. So then we know, as we said, we can fit almost all our listeners in a single Volvo station wagon. So you might have to push us up to, the Chrysler Town and Country.
We get a nice minivan,
Yeah. So,
well, I don't know if we can afford the Town and Country right now. Maybe a Caravan.
No, it's just the one that came to my mind, but
maybe a '94 Plymouth Voyager.
Ooh, very nice. What was I even saying? Oh, if you guys didn't listen last week, I had my fiance Taryn on, and we weren't feeling the top 5. We just weren't feeling it. Nothing spoke to us. The week before, Dan and I weren't feeling the top 5 either, so we just didn't do a top 5. So I came up with this idea, try to shake things up. And I wanted you guys to email in and let us know, what do you think? We had an email, but they didn't mention what they think. But Chris having a rough time, he lost his power, so I'll let it go. But I need to hear from the rest of you guys. What do you think about this new idea? Because it takes a little bit of work to put it together. So I want some feedback.
That's true. Yep.
And we played a little game of ScruffCast quotes. So I went back, listened to older episodes of the ScruffCast, and just picked out old quotes. And then I quizzed Taryn, and I said, okay, who said this? Me or Dan? And she had to pick. She was pretty good. She went 9 for 10 last week.
Well, I'm going to have to try to go 10 for 10.
So this week, I have picked another 10 quotes. And if you guys like this, you can play along at home as we go through it. Pick out old quotes yourself and write it in. Then it's like, I'll get to play as well. Well, but no, you have to put the answers in there, so it won't really work. Whatever. Anyways.
This is just a game for us. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, back off, listeners. What the heck? All right. So I picked out 10 quotes. They're in chronological order from the oldest episode to the newest. And it's not necessarily going to be an even 5 for 5 split, right? Like 5 by me, 5 by you, right? It could be,
but it could be all 10 by you.
Okay,
gotcha.
or it could be all 10 by you, or it could be a 5x5 split. Either way.
Okay.
All right. You'll have to keep track here because I don't have a notebook with me to write it down. Do little check marks. All right. Are you ready, Dan?
I'm ready.
All right. The first quote I have here. If you're on one side of the pancake, you're going to see the moon instead of the sun because the moon is on your side of the disc. That's what they believe in.
That was you who said that. And that was when we were talking about the flat earthers, I'm assuming.
Correct.
I even gave the context.
Did.
You know what? It's funny because I played along last week. I think I maybe went 5 for 10.
Really?
At best. So, yeah. That's why I think like that. I really don't stand like much of an advantage here because I'm on the show.
I'm surprised
But I'm
Kate
one
did
for
so
one.
well,
Let's go.
considering how little she listens to the show. But I guess she knows me pretty well. But she doesn't know me better than you know you. So I don't know.
True. Yeah.
Yes, that was from episode Deep Dishin, episode 15. Anthony was on the show. And I believe we were just about to jet set off to Chicago.
Oh,
everybody
good
feeling?
times.
All right. The next quote. This one's a doozy.
Okay.
But it's a good one. A guy, if he wears no shirt, would you say he's half naked? He's wearing no shirt, you know? You just say he's wearing no shirt. He's not half naked. And if he's wearing no pants, you pretty much say he's naked at that point. He's just showing it all, you know? I picture half naked as he's just got a pair of jeans on and he's just got his dick out flopping around.
I think that was me.
That was you.
Because there's a you know in there a few times. You know? I do that to reaffirm, you know, like, hey, come on, right? Like I'm right here in what I'm saying. That's why I say that.
I try to look for those things that sort of won't entirely give it away. But I'm
I
also
know,
fond of
it's
the,
tough, though.
you know, every now and then.
You know.
That was from episode 17, Duke of Who Gives a Shit.
All right.
We were talking about a news article, and I think it was about Florida Man or something, and mentioned a half-naked man, and then we just went off on a tangent about why they used
Right.
half-naked instead.
Wasn't that episode we were talking about like the royal wedding?
Yes,
Isn't it funny because like they're not even a royals anymore?
that's true.
Yeah, they're living in like LA. 100 episodes later.
How'd that
Or
work
90.
out for them? Reopening
Yeah.
because of coronavirus? All right.
2 for 2. Let's go.
I like this next one. Why don't you just heat it up at home? Get your little crack pipe out and heat it up that way, you crazy crack bitch.
I'm gonna say that was you.
That was you.
Oh man,
Gotcha with one. Nice.
what was the context of that?
It was from Extreme, episode 19. We're talking about a news article about a lady that was heating up a pee sample in the 7-Eleven microwave.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Why don't you just
I
heat it
remember.
up at home? Get your little crack pipe out and heat it up that way, you crazy crack bitch. I thought you would have thought it was you because of the aggression at the end.
So aggressive. I know, but sometimes you throw those out too, right?
Oh, so you're 2 for 3. I'm glad I
Yeah,
fooled you with at least one.
All right, you got me.
We'll see if you remember this next one. Well, I'm going to open my gay-friendly bake shop. Come on by for all the nice gay cakes you want. There you go.
That was you.
That was me. It was just such a
Yeah.
good one. I couldn't not put it in there.
Oh man, that was like one of my favorites from the time.
And I had to cut out the next part was you going, love those gay cakes. Was from Beachfront Cancer Hunt, episode 24. I believe we were talking about the bakery that refused to make a cake for the gay couple.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
we're
I
saying
think
like,
you're right.
well, I would just open a bakery that's, caters to everybody. Be like, oh, come get your gay cakes here.
Gay cakes here. Get your gay cakes.
That was your 3 for 4.
All right.
All right. The next one here. Remember that lady who pooped at the Tim Hortons? Oh, McDonald's has seen nothing. You get a poop, and you get a poop, and you get a poop. The last part, like kind of like Oprah. You get a
Yeah,
poop, and you
yeah,
get a poop, and you get a poop.
You?
That was me.
Yeah. Okay.
Who gave it away, or was that you look like you were just guessing there?
Yeah, pretty much. That was it. Just shot in the dark.
So, some of them are hard to know, but
Oh
that
yeah.
was from episode Downward Dangle, episode 32.
Okay.
I think the episode got its title from a guy who was doing yoga naked at the gym. Somebody called him a plant.
Yes.
I don't remember. I remember the original story of the lady who pooped at Tim Hortons and threw her poo at somebody, but I don't remember this one about McDonald's.
I don't remember any of that. No.
All right, so you're 4 for 5.
All right.
All right. This next one, I'm interested to hear what you think. This is for long-time listeners of the ScruffCast. I don't know if this sounds like the ScruffCast. Call me a feminist because I believe in equal stuff too.
I gotta say that was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
5 for 6. Pretty good.
Right. Yeah. Sounds something stupid, I would say.
That was from, I didn't write the episode number down here, but it's from Menists. Feminists for Men. We're talking about feminists.
All right.
Call me a feminist because I believe in equal stuff too.
Because it's just that easy, you know?
Equal stuff. What does that even mean?
Equal stuff. You know, just stuff.
All right. You're 5 for 6 so far. It's pretty good.
All right.
See, dude, how great would this be? Now Obama chimes in with, when we would eat at the White House, oh man, we just had corn up the wahoo. Just telling all these stories. That would be awesome.
That was you.
That was me. Was it the wahoo?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said the word wahoo.
We were talking about a news article where a guy threw a corn cob at someone else. And it's from episode 56, Obama Chair. I think we had a little intro with Obama pretending to be on the episode.
Oh, yeah.
So then I was like, see, dude, how great would this be? Now Obama chimes in with, when we would eat at the White House, oh man, we just corn up the wahoo. That'd be awesome. He's just telling all these stories.
That would be funny.
6 for 7. All right. The next one. Like, let's say O.J. Simpson. All right, he murdered these people. If he comes on the podcast and we talk to him, that doesn't make us murderers.
That was you.
That was me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's from hashtag Bye Bye Oprah, episode 58.
Yeah, you had your little OJ phase for a while there.
I had the OJ phase, really?
Really? You had the OJ phase a little bit there, yeah. You followed him from our account. He's like one of the 5 people we follow.
Oh,
OJ Simpson.
I'm supposed to follow Kanye West from there as well. I forgot.
Oh, dude, you don't need that. That guy's stupid. Don't follow him. Dude, he's not gonna become president.
No, he's not, but neither is OJ.
He's a psycho. No. True. OJ's not trying to become president. He's just trying to live, you know?
Who's having the OJ phase now? He's just trying to live. Leave OJ alone.
He's just trying to live. Leave OJ out of this.
All right. I believe you're 7 for 8.
Alrighty.
McDonald's French fries, just magic. So good. It should be illegal to sell these French fries. They're so good. No wonder people are obese.
That's you.
That is me.
You know what? Because you were laughing at the comments, and I know you're laughing at your own comment. That's as you're reading that along, you were like thinking back, like, "Oh man, what a funny thing I said there."
Because I was listening back the magic in context as I was just skimming. So to let the listeners know my process, I basically just click on an episode and I just randomly click at points and see if our voices go up and something's exciting or we're laughing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was episode 70. Buffalo Bills fans are still crazy. Chris was on that podcast. I think it was his first appearance.
Oh, nice.
And we're doing our top 5 potatoes when we're talking about French fries.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's French fries, just magic. So good. It should be illegal to sell these French fries. They're so good. No wonder people are obese.
Fact.
All right. You're 8 for 9.
Here we go.
Let's see if this last one tricks you up. What is that? That's just a pan of meat they cooked? Or something? I don't know. It's a spatula. I just saw meat in there.
What?
When I heard this quote, I had to put it in here.
Say that again.
What is that? That's just a pan of meat they cooked? Or something. I don't know. It's a spatula. I just saw meat in there.
I'm going to say it was me.
That was me.
Oh, it was.
Yes.
Damn.
We actually had a pretty uneven split. 7 of the 10 were by me, which I didn't notice until after. But that was me during episode 89, Diligent Scientist. Do you remember what that episode was?
Yeah, it had something to do with the watch along. Was that the episode?
That was during the watch along.
Okay,
they must have left out some pan of meat. And I commented on it.
Okay.
And then we proceeded to talk about why Mark had his guitar out there. I was listening back to just it without context of the show, obviously, and I'm like, man, this show sounds wild.
Yeah, I can only imagine. All right, 8 for 10. Not terrible. Maybe next week I'll have one for you.
Yeah, I mean that last one,
like this.
How the hell are you going to know, right?
Of course, yeah.
But It's tough because a lot of the first 50 episodes or so, we read articles. So if I pull something from an article, it's like it's not really by one of us or from listener emails. So I try to avoid those.
True. Yeah.
But just a little fun game. 8 for 10 though. That's pretty good. What did I fool you with?
Not bad at all.
So I fooled you with
the last one, obviously,
and I fooled you with
It was like the second or the third one.
Oh, I fooled you with. Why don't you just heat it up at home? Get your little crack pipe out and heat it up that way. You crazy crack bitch.
I should have known.
I got you with that one, and with what is that? That's just a pan of meat they cooked, or something. I don't know. It's a spatula. I just saw meat in there. I got a context. How the hell are you gonna know what that is?
Oh boy, I don't know. That was weird. All right, well that was fun. That was a bit of fun. I actually, you know what? I think I have a top 5 for next week though.
Ooh,
surprise! So, I think I've thought of one that we haven't done yet.
I had our good friend Kalon reach out to me last week after he listened to the episode, and he said he enjoyed the quote thing. But he sent it directly to me, not to the email, to share with the listeners. And he proposed an idea that I kind of liked, which was maybe we throw it in every 10 episodes as a sort of special thing.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, not every single week.
Here's what I think. We'll take a couple weeks from it. We'll bring it back for episode 110.
Okay.
And then it'll be just the 10s.
All right, I like that. That's good. All right.
If you guys have other segment ideas. ScruffCast@gmail.com. Let us know. Tiff's new friend, well, not new friend, but friend, coworker. I hope you had a good first ScruffCast experience. Maybe we're talking to nobody. Maybe you've given up.
Can you imagine? Maybe, you know what's funny? Like they probably maybe listen to the first actual couple episodes, and then they're like, yeah, this show sucks. So they stop listening, and then they're never going to hear this.
Oh, they went back to episode 1?
I wonder what they're, yeah. Well, if you're listening, thanks for listening.
I went back to episode 1 to start for searching for episodes or quotes earlier. And I got to say, we've really upped our podcast game. We're much better than we used to be.
Good. I'm happy about that. It's hard to judge, you know?
I mean, yeah, we're awesome. What can I say? So I would share the ScruffCast with your friends out there.
Share with your coworkers.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are all just hanging around on Zoom calls anyway. Don't you guys want something fun to talk about? Here's what you do.
Have it on the background.
Take that coworker you used to talk to all the time in the office. You don't talk to them as much anymore. Send them a meeting calendar request. They'll get it and it'll say ScruffCast introduction. They'll be like, what the hell is this? Okay, well, this person sent me the thing. Well, I'll accept their meeting. They get there and you go, hey, listen, I know you're probably getting bored. You're eating too many croissants at home. I can see the love handles starting to come through on the meetings.
Oh.
Here's what you can do. You can laugh that belly away with this hit podcast, and then you introduce them.
As far as I know, that's actually exactly what Tiff did. It's exactly word by word. You just used her script. That was it.
You play the quote segment. It gives them a little what's it called? Like a little potpourri mix of the show. They'll hear it. They'll be like, "Oh, Dan's a feminist. That's what he said in the quote. Equal stuff too."
He likes equal stuff. He must be a feminist. You know what I was thinking? We're 108 episodes in now. Call me crazy, but I found an old USB in my car that has music on it. And what if we changed the intro or the outro music?
Now, I'm very fond of the intro music.
Me too. I love it. I love the intro and the outro. But is it time for a change? That's what we'd like to know. Is it time for a change in intro music? Because we can find some other damn cool music as well. I've already got some in the back of my mind.
Like original music?
Yes. Made by me.
Okay.
I'm obviously just joking. It was not made by me. Made by the same artist that all of our other music comes from.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, listeners, let us know. I listened to a podcast that changed their music. I remember when it first changed, I was a little bummed. I was like, man, I like the old music. But you move on. It's the way it goes.
Exactly. Let us know. Do you guys want to change? Do you guys care? Do you guys just skip that part? Which, first off, you shouldn't, because it's the best part of this.
It never even
podcast
dawned on
1 minute
that they could skip the intro. Dude, I'd be mortified.
It'd be a little crazy, because that is the best part. The build-up. And then the ending, too, The fade out.
Little subtle beat, and then we hit you with a little quip at the end. Is this news to you guys? Do you guys not even listen to the end of the outro music? Been missing out for the past, not 108, because we didn't have the outro music the entire time, but for a good number of episodes.
That's right. Alrighty. Well, I think that's it. I think we're done. Yeah.
I think so.
That's it. Yeah.
It's midnight.
Oh, God, I know. We're getting later and later every goddamn week, man.
I had to go pull the quotes. It's the work I put in for the listeners.
I suppose so, yeah. So, all right, whatever. Email us, ScruffCast@gmail.com. Let us know if you like this quote thing. Give us any other suggestions you have, a top 5 suggestion, another kind of fun thing we can do. Let us know if you want the music changed.
And give us ideas for when we're back in the studio as well.
Yeah, which will be coming sooner than later, we believe.
Yes,
we've got some ideas as it is to
got some plans
pump
in
it
the
up,
works.
you know? That's right. So, all right. Well, with that being said, that was episode 108 of the ScruffCast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Got me like, oh, as I'm watching her go. All I'm thinking is, oh, damn, that bad thing. I can tell you're really good at distracting.
Dude, who's Mr. Belvedere?